Well, hello and welcome back to another video. It's absolutely blowing a gale outside, so I'm not going to be long because I'm worried about my camera blowing over because it is so rough. But I just wanted to wish everybody a wonderful, happy start to November. Not the best month of the year, and as you know, I like to look at these months, and October turned into quite a fair month here. We certainly had a certain amount of rain. I still think we've got a long way to go here to catch up. I know other parts of the country have had a lot more wet weather in October than we had here. We've certainly had a lot of wind, as always. I always seem to be talking about the wind or trying to dodge the wind in videos. So October was a very windy month here, as you'd probably expect, really. And altogether, it was quite a mild month, so I'm not complaining. And November has started off much in the vein that October was. It's not particularly cold, but very windy, and we have there again had a little bit more rain. So I hope you're doing okay. I have my book with me, so I'm going to keep this short and to the point. Quite interesting. You know, November in olden times really meant the beginning of winter, you know, definitely. And interestingly enough, I was reading the other day that the Anglo-Saxon name for November was Blot Monath. Now you say, well, what the heck does Blot Monath mean? Well, rather ghoulish, it means blood month. Because apparently in Anglo-Saxon times, November was the month, or this time of year, was a time of year when they did a lot of slaughtering of their cattle and animals, not only for the forthcoming winter meat and food, but also for, you know, ritual sacrifice, as these, you know, ancient peoples did, which I think is quite fascinating. So yes, the Anglo-Saxons called November Blot Monath. There we go, the time of year that they slaughtered a lot of their animals. An awful lot of saints' days in November. We've missed that already. The 1st of November was All Saints' Day. November the 2nd was All Souls' Day. The 11th is St Martin's. The 22nd is St Celia's. The 25th St Catherine's, and on the 30th it's St Andrew's. So a lot of saints' days there. And I've only got one old saying in my book here. There again, I think the olden people were probably too busy in November. Obviously, still a lot of, in the old times, still a lot of harvesting was going on. Things like potatoes, sugar beet, turnips, you know, anything like that. Root crops were still being lifted because it's all done by hand or horse and hand. One old saying is, November take flails, let no ship sails, which is very apt for today because it is absolutely flailing the trees and the wind is blowing. Another one that I knew as a child, which I think sums up to me November: no shade, no shine, no bees, no fruits, no flowers, no leaves, no birds, November. It's quite noticeable around here. The birds do tend to go out of the garden at the end, towards the end of the summer, because there's plenty of, you know, fruits in the hedgerow and plenty up for them to, you know, gather elsewhere. But sadly this year they haven't returned yet. There's plenty of time, but also round here we've had 1 or 2 outbreaks over at a lake. It was a former reservoir. We've had this avian flu, and you know, there's certain restrictions. If you're keeping poultry, I think now you have to keep them shut up. In Norfolk and Suffolk, you know, which is sort of as the crow flies, probably 70 miles away, they've had that avian flu really badly, and they're having to, poultry farmers are having to keep, you know, their poultry shut up in buildings now because yeah, wild birds bring in this avian flu, and apparently there's a lot of swans died on the Norfolk Broads, and a lot of other birds have died as well, which is very sad. And if you do see any dead birds, you know, the general consensus is, you know, leave well alone. You know, particularly big birds like swans. You know, report them to some. You know, I'm sure online there'd be somewhere that would be gladly wanted to report any dead birds. But you know, they were saying on the news, don't go and touch birds that have probably succumbed to this avian flu. I don't think it can, you know, jump to humans, but you never know. Obviously, I don't think there's any cases anyway of that occurring, but very sad. So in the garden, you know, it's I'm in the process of making a video about doing my tubs and setting some bulbs in some tubs and setting my tubs up. But there again, the last 3 days it has just been so windy, so that is coming, and I've still got 1 or 2 other things in the pipeline, and it's been quite a busy autumn for me trying to sort other things out. So but I'm still here, and still enjoying all your super comments, thank you, and the new subscribers as well, so thank you very much. And I have invested a little bit in the channel. We are now filming in wonderful 4K, and will be hopefully all the time, and so hopefully you'll notice a bit of quality, or better quality video I should say, in the videos. One always tries, so we're trying a new camera out, and I've been managing with a camera that's it was a very good camera in its day, but it was 11 and 12 years old, so not the, you know, most high spec camera of today. So I'm experimenting with this video, which is really why I wanted to try and make it today with a new camera. So please see what you think. Is it any better, or is it probably worse? I hope not anyway. But as always, I hope November finds you all well, and we will be back with some more videos, and as soon as this wind stops, I shall continue on with my setting my bulbs and autumn and spring bedding out. So as I say, thanks as always for watching. Just a little update there, and to bring in and welcome in November, which is can be a bleak, cold, dark, wet, dank month very often. You know, the nights draw in now, don't they? We've altered the clocks here in the UK. It's dark now, getting earlier and earlier, and so it's what, you know, can be in a way a sad month when you see all the leaves falling off the trees and the trees starting to be bare again. But one has to remember that, you know, it's only a few short months before we shall be enjoying the likes of spring again, and there's the joys of winter to come in between that as well. So as always, thanks for watching, do take care, and as always, good gardening wherever you are in the world or in the UK, and I'll be catching up with you very soon again. Until then, bye for now.